Zoinks! Like, this is a Saturday Morning TVLog revisited on Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. This is Dual the Big D to you, and this is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Now I'm back with another Saturday Morning TVLog revisited. This time around, for Spooktacular October, I thought I'd bring in one of the first ever great mystery theme tunes that ever existed. Because if this show hadn't existed, we couldn't have gotten many other great shows from this studio that gave this fun-filled canine to us. So now, without further ado, in this revisited Saturday Morning TVLog, I'm going to be talking about the original series itself, the one, the only, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? It was an animated comedy series with mystery and thrills and what have you. It originally premiered on CBS in September of 1969 and was produced by Hanna-Barbera. It was the first of many series of mysteries to be produced by the studio and the first installment of the Scooby-Doo franchise. Okie dokie. Thought I was going to give you a high, I'm sorry. But anyway, now then. The series was created by Joe Ruby and Ken Spears, who, of course, were working for Hanna-Barbera at the time. This was long before they, formed their own animation studio. The series started on September 13, 1969, and aired for 2 complete seasons of itself until Halloween 1970. Now, in 1978, a selection of episodes from the later animated series Scooby's All-Star Life Olympics and the Scooby-Doo Show were aired on ABC under this series title and was released in a DVD set marketed as its 3rd season. Throughout this, it's also been shown in the UK on BBC One. The complete series is available to stream, but I'm getting too far ahead myself. So, the show, of course, follows the adventures of teenagers Fred Jones, Daphne Blake, Velma Dinkley, Shaggy Rogers, and their dog Scooby-Doo, and they travel in a van known as the Mystery Machine, encountering and solving mysteries. Once solved, the group typically discovers that the perpetrator of the mystery is a disguised person who seeks to exploit a local legend or a myth for personal gain. Now this was a result of CBS and Hanna-Barbera's plans to create a non-violent Saturday morning program that would appease to the parent to watch groups that had protested the superhero-based programs of the mid-60s. Since Hanna-Barbera had more recently already been responsible for those shows like Space Ghost, The Herculoids, Birdman, even though that was on NBC, Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles, Shazam, well, I don't factually consider that, but yes, superhero show, but kind of feels like it sort of in a way. Oh yeah, Moby Dick and my tour. That's another one. The show was originally titled The Mysteries 5, and later Who's Scared. Scooby-Doo Where Are You underwent several changes from script to screen, the most significant being the downplaying of a musical group angle. However, the basic concept, a group of teenagers and their dogs solving supernatural related mysteries, was always in place. Joe Ruby and Ken Spears, the creators, also served as the story supervisors on the series. Now, let me see. Also, what Fred Silverman, who was an executive for daytime programming at CBS, was then looking for a show that would both revitalize his Saturday morning lineup and please the watch groups, as they had already more recently had success with Filmation's Archie show the previous season. So, eager to build upon this, Silverman contacted Hanna-Barbera about creating another show based on a teenage rock group, this time featuring teens who solved mysteries between gigs. Silverman envisioned the show as a cross between the popular I Love a Mystery radio serials of the 1940s and the Archie characters, or the popular early 60s television series, The Main Loves of Dobie Gillis, which actually was a recent hit for CBS, as a matter of fact. Now, let's see. Now, after attempting to develop his version of the show called House of Mystery, Barbera, who developed and sold the studio shows while Hanna produced them, passed the task along to story writer Joe Ruby and Ken Spears, as well as artist character designer Iwo Takamoto. And their treatment, based in part on the Archie show, was how Mysteries 5 and featured five teenagers Jeff, Mike, Kelly, Linda, and Linda's brother, WW, along with their bongo playing dog, Too Much, who collectively formed the band Mysteries 5. So, anyway, yeah, that's what they did. When they weren't performing gigs, they were out selling spooky mysteries and stuff like that. Ruby and Spears were unable to decide whether Too Much would be a large cowardly dog or a small feisty one. When the former was chosen, Ruby and Spears wrote Too Much as a Great Dane, but revised the dog character to a large sheepdog similar to Hot Dog from the Archies. Just before the presentation, the Silverman, as Ruby feared the character would be too much similar to the comic strip Great Dane known as Marmaduke, Silverman rejected their initial pitch, and after consulting with Barbera on the next steps, got Barbera's permission to go ahead with Too Much being a Great Dane instead of a sheepdog. So apparently, when they tried to do so many others and what have you, but during the design phase, lead character designer Takamoto consulted a studio colleague who was a breeder of Great Danes. After learning the characteristics of a prize-winning Great Dane from her, Takamoto proceeded to break most of the rules and design Too Much with overly bowed legs, a double chin, and a sloped back, among other abnormalities. So Ruby and Spears' second pass of show used much of the go of Dobie Gillis. Treatment retained Too Much while reducing the number of teen characters to four, removing the Mike character and retaining Jeff, Kelly, Linda, and WW as their personalities were modified. Jeff became Ronnie, later renamed Fred, at Silverman's behest. Kelly became Daphne, Linda, Velma, and WW Shaggy. Anyway, they were now based on the four teenage characters of the main loves of Dobie Gillis. Well, the revised show was repitched to Silverman, who liked the material but disliked in the Town Mysteries 5 and decided to call it Who's Scared. Well, Silverman presented this to the CBS executives as a centerpiece for the upcoming Saturday Morning block from 1969 to 1970. Frank Stanton, the president of CBS, felt that the presentation artwork was too scary for young viewers, thinking that the show would be the same, decided to pass on it. Now, without a centerpiece for the upcoming season's programming, Silverman had Ruby Spears and the Hanna-Barbera staff revised the treatments and presentation materials to tone down the show and better reflect its comedy elements. The rock band element was dropped, and more attention was focused on Shaggy and Too Much. Now, however, the following year, the rock band treatment with a little bit of espionage and mystery feel was brought to CBS the following year in Josie and the Pussycats. So, but according to Ruby and Spears, Silverman was inspired by Frank Sinatra's scat "Doo-Be-Doo-Be-Doo" at the end of his recording of Strangers in the Night on a red-eye flight to one of the development meetings, and decided to rename the dog Scooby-Doo, and thus Scooby-Doo Where Are You was born. The revised show was represented to CBS executives who approved it for production. And thus that begins the big journey. Now, of course, for this Saturday Morning TVLog revisit, before I talk into more, get into more details on the show, I'm just giving you the development and a little bit and what have you. Now, some of these episodes were presented in a different type of order. The first full episode was One Night for a Night, which was really something. The first season was consisted of 17 episodes. The series theme song was written by David Mook and Ben Riley and performed by Larry Marks. Now, although the series did actually use an instrumental song, but they soon changed it to the song. Each of these episodes features Scooby and the members of Mystery Incorporated arriving at location in the Mystery Machine. Well, encountering a purportedly supernatural monster terrorizing the local populace, such as a ghost, they decide to investigate. The kids split up to look for clues and suspects while being chased at turns by the monster. Eventually, the kids come to realize the paranormal activity is actually an elaborate hoax, and often with the help of a Rube Goldberg like trap designed by Fred, they capture the creature suit wearing villain and unmask him or her. So, revealed usually as a flesh and blood crook who used the costume to cover up their crimes, the villain is arrested and taken to jail, often with the catchphrase, "If it weren't for those pesky or meddling kids." A few times, though, the villain turns out to be innocent, such as a haywire robot or the owner disguised to scare away thieves. Now the show was scheduled opposite another teenage mystery song show, which was The Hardy Boys for Filmation, which debuted the same year on ABC. Scooby-Doo became a reigning success, so apparently kids were enjoying that. So the show was picked up for a second season. Unfortunately, it only had a mere 8 episodes produced and aired. Now, 7 of the second season episodes featured chase sequences set to bubblegum pop songs recorded by Austin Roberts, who also re-recorded the theme song for the season. Anyway, yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. Now, the show's voice acting cast originally featured Don Masick as the voice of Scooby himself. Voicing Shaggy was Casey Kasem, after he recently voiced Robin in Filmation's Adventures of Batman series the previous season. He also would voice characters on the Chattanooga Cats, which also debuted the same year on ABC, plus lots of other Hanna-Barbera shows, including the Super Friends. Frank Welker voiced Fred, and then we have actress Nicole Jaffe as Velma, who actually made a little bit of an appearance in The Love Bug the same year. And Indira Stefania, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name, originally voiced Daphne. Scooby's speech patterns closely resembled an earlier cartoon dog, which was Astro from the Jetsons, which of course was also voiced by Masick. However, Miss Christopherson, soon retired from when the second season was done. And after she got married, and so Heather North assumed the role of Daphne and continued to voice her character until 1997. Now, of the similarities between the Scooby-Doo teens and the Dobie Gillis teens, the similarities between Shaggy and the character Maynard from Dobie Gillis are the most noticeable. Both characters share the same beatnik style, goatee, similar hairstyles, and demeanors. Now, the core premise of the series was also similar to the famous 5 books by Enid Blyton. Both series feature 4 youths with a dog, and the famous 5 stories often revolved around mystery, which invariably turn out to be supernaturally based, but simply a ruse to disguise the villain's true intent. The role of each character was strongly defined in the series. Fred is the leader and the determined detective. Velma is the intelligent analyst. Daphne is danger prone, given that little nickname, Danger Prone Daphne, if you've watched the show. Shaggy is a coward, more motivated by hunger than any desire to solve mysteries, and Scooby is similar to him, save for a Bob Hope inspired tendency towards temporary bravery. Now, later versions of the show made slight changes to the characters' established roles, such as showing the Daphne in 1990s and 2000s Scooby-Doo productions as knowing many forms of karate and having the ability to defend herself and reducing her tendency towards being kidnapped. Scooby-Doo itself influenced many other Saturday morning tunes of the 70s. During that decade, Hanna-Barbera produced a ton of them. Amongst some of them included Josie and the Pussycats, which debuted the following year in 1970, excuse me. Then The Funky Phantom, The Amazing Enchanted Shankland, Speed Buggy, Goober and the Ghost Chasers. Let's see. Well, not to mention, there's some that's not showing my source, but there's also Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids, Clue Club, Jabberjaw, Captain K-Man, the Teen Angels. Oh, the list goes on. Now, of course, Scooby just kind of just chickens out after he's given a job. But it's like, yeah, but Fred's usually the one who did it. Well, in his first appearance, like, would you do it for a Scooby snack? Yes, Scooby will get a Scooby snack at times as well to make him be brave and what have you. I liked it when Fred presented it to him in One Night for Night, and Scooby's like, boo. Fred's like, okay, two it is. Yeah, Scooby's a character. He's a card and what have you. Actually, correction, Shaggy and Scooby are both cards if you catch my drift, of course. Still, nevertheless, I found Scooby Doo Where Are You to be one of the greats and what have you. After Scooby Doo Where Are You was shown, it later did get shown on numerous other networks, also in syndication. It also got shown on, well, super stations like WGN from Chicago, the TBS network, TNT, and the USA network on the Cartoon Express in the late 80s, going into the mid 90s. And but which that would actually make it one of the last Hanna-Barbera shows to be airing on the block. But well, right about the time Cartoon Network was even born, as that along with Boomerang, which its streaming service is no longer available, actually more recently aired the series. Well, I mean showed the series, but the Boomerang channel still does show it. It's just their app went kaput earlier this week. But overall, I found this show to be fun, and I enjoyed it. I wouldn't tell you where it would rank. So it's my favorite as one of my favorite series. You're just gonna have to wait for my ranking of all the Scooby Doo series to come up later on this month. Okay. So now you know about Scooby Doo. Where Are You? I know you've seen the characters before, so I have no need to show you the characters. So, because you all know who they are and what they look like, so I have no right to show you those. So please, no, don't hate me for that. But anyway, that'll do it for this revisit Scooby Doo. Where Are You? I have seen all the episodes; they are all good, and they still haven't aged a bit after I revisit them this past week. The series can also is available on physical media from Warner Home Video in various DVD sets as well as a complete series set. The series is also available to stream on Max and Tubi. So anyway, what did you think of Scooby Doo? Where Are You? I'm sure a lot of y'all seen it. Tell me what did you think of this show? I would like to bring my favorite episodes, but that's gonna be a little tough to do. But maybe another time, perhaps. Okay. But let me know what you thought about the original Scooby Doo Where Are You in the comment section below. And if you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, make it grow, make the views grow. Share my vids with your friends, get them to know me, tell your friends about me, and well, you know the rest. Also, before I finish, of course, Scooby Doo continued to go on in numerous series as well as direct to TV and made for video movies right to this very day. Almost forgot to bring that up. But anyway, just tell me what you thought about the show in the comments section below, alright? And later tonight, I'll be bringing to you a spoiler free review of Joker Folie à Deux. And you will also get an out of theater reaction later in the day once I'm done seeing the film. So, anyway, thank you for checking this out. And if you like this, check out the Saturday Morning TV Logs for these other installments of the Scooby Doo franchise I talked about. Alright, in the upper left-hand corner is my Saturday Morning TV log on the second Scooby series, and the only other to show on CBS, and that's the new Scooby-Doo movies from 1972. Or go to the upper right-hand corner and see the Saturday Morning TV log I did for the Scooby-Doo show from 1976, which actually had the actual third season of Scooby-Doo Where Are You, as it was shown in some at times. Well, I think you'll understand what I'm saying. Or you can go to the bottom left-hand corner and see the Saturday Morning TV log on A Pup Named Scooby-Doo from 1988. Another one of my favorites. The Scooby-Doo show is as well. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TV log. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and next week's Saturday Morning TV log is Monster Squad. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.